To be completely honest, it's tough for me to even find time to play MLB The Show a ton anymore. And not to complain or anything, but man, life comes at you fast. But that's just how it be sometimes. But when I do have the time to play, the mode that I keep coming back to isn't Road to the Show or even Diamond Dynasty. Of all the modes I play the most in this game, it's gotta be March to October. Yeah, it's not exactly the most popular, but when you really dig into it, it's fucking great. And in this video, we're going to be explaining why that is, and we're going to be going over some ways to make it even better in the future. But before we get started, let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite game mode in the MLB The Show series, and why? Alright, let's get it. So what about March to October makes it such a great mode? Well, honestly, I think it's the fact that it just takes franchise mode and streamlines it so it's a lot easier to digest. It simplifies a lot of franchises' annoying things, like the trade system, puts you into the biggest moments automatically throughout the season, and packs all the action of a full 162 game race into a tight, action-packed sprint to the finish line. Really, it's a genius idea, and I'm surprised they didn't think of it earlier. The action really never stops. You feel the intensity of the season increase as it goes on, especially when you play on the higher difficulties. And one of my other favorite things about it is that it lets you get a nice sense of how some other teams operate and who some of their lesser known players are, which comes natural after playing a whole season with them. It's a really fun way to learn about other teams that you might not have otherwise thought about. For example, there's no reason I would ever know who Harrison Bader is and that he's very fast unless I played a Cardinals March to October. And on top of all that, it's filled with walk-off homers, game on the line save situations, extra inning thrillers, and just perfectly encapsulates the fun side of baseball. So that's a shorthand of why I like it. It's easily digestible, easy to just hop in whenever and go right at the season, trying to win a title with any team you please. And like Pedro Pascal once said in a very bad movie, it's good, but it can be better. First things first, being limited to just one season kinda sucks. And on one hand, I completely understand why it's set up that way, you know, the whole March to October thing, yada yada, whatever. But if I want to play another season with the team I just won a title with a bunch of guys I just traded for and called up and everything like that, and basically formed an attachment with at this point, it has to be done in franchise mode, which doesn't have the rapid action of March to October. Having the ability to just continue on to the next season in March to October would be dope as shit. Of course, they'd have to put in some sort of free agency feature into the mode, but I think that can be done pretty simply, like what they've done to the trade system. Give a team a budget, obviously depending on what team it is, it's going to be different. Make you choose from a few guys to re-sign within that budget, and then do the same for a few guys that might hit the open market. If you want to splurge all your money on one big pickup, go for it. If you want to diversify your money among a group of players to improve multiple spots, there you go. Free agency can be done super easily, just like that, and then you just keep things rolling right along into the next season. Another feature that I really want to see in March to October is the ability to import custom teams and custom rosters. Now, obviously, I know this can be done in normal franchise too, but again, the main point is that it's missing that fast-paced action that makes March to October so good. Going through an action-packed season with great teams from the past would be awesome, as you try to recreate the 98 Yankees, 2004 Red Sox, or even 2016 Cubs seasons, and whatever other exciting teams that we've seen throughout the years. And while I know this is kind of dicey because there's Diamond Dynasty rewards linked to March to October, so they'd have to probably be turned off if you use a custom roster, because otherwise people would just probably make their teams 99 overalls all across the board, which would make it obviously way too easy and defeat the whole purpose of having the rewards. But that's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make just to have this option. So custom rosters, turn off rewards, whatever, no biggie. But another way around this would be to put historical teams in the game, sort of like what NBA 2K does. That way, it's San Diego Studios official. You can keep your rewards, and all you'd have to do is pick the era you want to run through a season in. On top of that, they could put exclusive rewards for doing it with certain old teams. And I know it's got to be expensive to get the rights of all those players and have them in the game and such, but with the game coming to Xbox next year, and the fact that they literally had almost all the minor leaguers last year, that excuse is slowly becoming a moot point. And finally, another cool thing that I'd like to see in March to October, not as much as these other features I listed, but I still think it would be dope, is relocation and possibly stadium creation. Now, if they made it so you can go multiple seasons in a single March to October save, then relocation would just be cool to have. Even if they made it so you could just import your custom uniforms and team name for that first season, that'd be cool too. I mean, just imagine bringing back the Expos and running through an entire exciting season with them, or whatever other team you want to bring to life, fictional or pulled from history. And when it comes to stadium creator, we don't know for sure if it's going to be in the game yet, Although I did cover a leak in a previous video that suggested it was on the way for MLB The Show 21, we still don't have an official confirmation, but if it indeed is coming to the next game, you better believe I want that shit to be in this game mode. In fact, I literally want them to milk the ever-living shit out of Stadium Creator. Throw it in wherever they possibly can. And I don't mean that in the typical EA milking microtransactions kind of way, but rather just to say that they should try to get the most out of this potential feature. I want to be able to have my own team, in my own stadium, marching to the World Series, and christening a brand new ballpark with a world title, sort of like the 2009 Yankees. But all in all, that's a good summary of why March to October is currently my favorite game mode in the show right now, and why I think it's the best overall and most well-rounded. Couple this with some of the new features I suggested be added above, and I think we'd have a real banger on our hands, boys. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.